Hi, my name is MomoMorgana and welcome back to the Sims 4 Ultimate Decades Challenge side household update. This is actually our first side household update of this new century, which is kind of exciting. So let's just jump into it and see what everybody's getting up to. I started off here at Aslac's household because, well, something has gone awry off screen. In between the end of my last episode and getting set up for this one, we actually had a death in the family. And obviously it's not Aslac. It's actually his daughter Lilith, his eldest child. And if you don't really remember why that's important to me right now, well, if we recall, Lilith was actually soulmates with David. And she wasn't really happy with the fact that she has an occult as a soulmate, considering the way things are going on in their village right now. So she was just kind of like messing around with him and teasing him because she still felt that pull, but she was also kind of disgusted by David's like physical appearance, because Aslac and his side of the family is human, is only our main household, and I guess the newer generations of our side households that are of like our immediate side households that are a cult. So yeah, so the family is in mourning. They're all on the sidewalk here instead of at the actual house, even though their house is right here, so we can't see inside of it, but the whole family is mourning. Can I see what she passed from? Yeah, she had death by anger, so something must have happened. I don't know if it was an accident or if she got upset and caused something or what, or if she was just, I think that she felt really strongly about this pull towards David, and she was just angry at herself and the gods and David and everybody for the fact that she feels almost cursed to have that person as a soulmate. But once again, just because someone's your soulmate doesn't necessarily mean y'all have to be married and have children and everything like that. But I imagine it's such a strange feeling to have a soulmate who you're trying to reject for a handful of different reasons. So I think her anger might have caused an accident or something like that, and she's gone now. So we'll see David's reaction to her death and the beginning of the next actual episode when we get back to the main household, excuse me. But in the meantime, Morgan is barely holding on. She and Aslac's relationship was already bad. Now it's even worse now that Lilith has passed away. She doesn't even want to think about the people in our main household. She doesn't think about Lady Edith. She doesn't think about David or Warren or anything like that. She's really just trying to focus on the children she has left. And I think she's completely given up on this marriage with Aslac. If anything was worth saving, it's completely gone now, especially because Aslac was kind of trying to push Lilith to be a bit more open-minded and give David a chance, because you know, Aslac himself is not prejudiced against occults, so he knows that David is such a good person and everything like that. He knows, life is a lot more nuanced than the way his wife and his daughters are kind of viewing it. But his beliefs didn't really make it through to the girls in the family. We'll see about Carissa, but she's too young to really understand. As far as she's just mourning, I don't know why you're all the way over here. She's just mourning her big sister. Her eldest sister just passed away. She's confused. She's mourning. Lucia's mourning her big sister. They were super close, so it's just a big hit on the entire family. But while we are here, I want to kind of also get a see on how Thomas views Celestria. Now, when Celestria aged up, I don't know if I did this on camera or not. I probably didn't, but I'm gonna do it again. Oh, I did not. I set up something for the next episode. So you will see in the next episode how Celestria feels about Thomas. But from Thomas's point of view, he thinks that Celestria is very attractive, which is really interesting. So that means he probably most likely has his father's views on that. Yeah, he thinks Edith is also very attractive. So I think that Thomas got his father's views on, a cult being just as beautiful and just as worthy of love and life as anyone else. He's not fearful of that in the same way his mother and older sisters are. Once again, we'll have to see how Carissa feels once she ages up, but yeah, he's super handsome, and I kind of want to see how he and Celestia interact as teenagers. They got along well enough as children, but I want to see how they are as teens. I don't know if he has a crush on her or anything like that, but they are friends, which is a nice start. So he's feeling a bit self-conscious, and he's still mourning people in the family. His traits, though: street smart, sensitive, smart, and self-conscious. So he's definitely an academic, just like Aslac. Might get into, like, I don't know what job he would get into. We'll figure that out if it becomes important. But in the meantime, this family is just in further shambles. Morgan is barely holding it together. Lucia's holding it together for now, but she's still pretty deep in mourning. And the boys are just trying to not let the women in their life succumb to hate unnaturally. So hopefully they don't blame David or anybody else for this or anything like that, but who knows. Next up, we have Amice's household. Well, I mean, Amice is no longer with us, unfortunately, but this is where her daughters still live. They are still keeping the home a home. They have not let it go, even though some of them have gotten married and had multiple children and everything like that. All of them have had children, but they have not relinquished control over the home. They've just moved their husbands in. I don't know what this guy's got going on here, but nothing much has happened. I think some of them married their partners. Oh yes, here's what's happening. Nicole, as we know, was with Wolfgang. I'm not sure if this happened on and off camera for y'all, but these two got married officially. So she and Wolfgang are officially married. I'll change their children's last name off camera because I forgot to do that. Marley is still unmarried, which makes sense because if we remember, the father of her child is the leader of the occult hunters. So he's not even here. He's actually in Willow Creek, so we'll keep that in mind if it comes up later. Tim was married to Serena Smith. Let me see. Here we go. Serena was married, or is still married to Tim, but their love has kind of dissipated quite a bit. I need to get rid of this super siblings thing. But they still find each other attractive, but something's going on here with their love and their friendship. I'm not sure what exactly, but it's definitely dissipating. I'm hoping it's not because of this super siblings thing. I'm actually going to take it away. They're not actually siblings. That just happens when you have like teen/child sims grow up in the same house, and once they turn into young adults, they'll act like if there is no, I don't know what causes it, but if they're close enough, they'll act like they're siblings even if blood isn't there, which I think is super cute for other storytelling purposes. But for right now, with the way the game is and the fact that these two were married and have children together, or are married and have children together, it's a little weird to consider each other siblings when you have babies together. But Jalissa is still unmarried. Yes, Richard is still not here. But the most thing I thought was kind of interesting is that Marley seems to have developed a bit of an infatuation with an attractive sim who is it? Yes, Tim Smith. She has, I don't think it's a crush necessarily, but as they've all gotten older and they've been here together for years, she's kind of developed a bit of a crush on Tim. I don't think she would ever go after it. I think she loves her sister more than she feels attraction to Tim. She's also just got like a shy personality. So yeah, she's melancholic, timid, gentle, boring, and clumsy. I don't think she would actually do something like that, hopefully, but who knows. But for right now, she does find him super attractive. So that's your little sister's man. So keep your hands off Marley. But she's not feeling super confident, and she's just overall having a bad time, but a time nonetheless. Now, a lot of their children have aged up. We can kind of go through them, but hopefully in the next episode or next couple of episodes, we can have Ada or Isoda meet these kids, because most of these kids, some of them are human, mostly human, and some of them are spellcasters. So I wonder if Amice's bloodline It is kind of close because these would be like second cousins. It's a bit too close for my personal liking, but the game wouldn't consider them cousins, even if my family tree was connected the way it's supposed to be. So I think I would allow it. So we have like Jordan. The thing is, there's so many kids, I actually don't remember who's kid anymore. Jordan is Jalissa and Richard Smith's kid. Okay. Richard is also technically, but also not really, but whatever. So this is a complete human, which is really interesting. So we have Jordan, who's a boy, who could potentially like befriend or even marry Ada or Isoda. Who knows? He's quite a bit younger than them though, but we'll see. Nicholas, good lord. Here's Nicholas, who is a spellcaster, and his only non-human trait are these big pink eyes, which wouldn't scare off Ada and Isoda because they look the same and their siblings look the same. So I don't think they would like judge the Woodsons for this. You might not even be a Woodson. You are a Woodson. Okay, also he is the son of that occult leader. So if we come across Nicholas, who knows? He's asocial, hot-headed, and street smart. Jordan is optimistic, shy, self-conscious. Herbert, I don't exactly know what to call this guy. He is a human for the most part, but he has these black pupilless eyes. But other than that, he has no magic. He has no alien form. He's not a human. He's a spellcaster. His magic just hasn't manifested yet, I guess. But normally it tells me down here, but it didn't. Is that the same for Richard then? I didn't actually look the plump up. Okay, Richard is a human. Nicholas is a spellcaster. Herbert, I'm gonna just call him Herbert for now. It's probably Herbert or something like that. He's a spellcaster and he has these black pupilless eyes and he's a bit more of a serious guy. No, he's not. He's a cat lover, an art lover, and a cuddle bug. He's just feeling... He looks rather serious right now. I think he's cute though. Hold on. He might be a good fit for the twins. One of the twins. Next up is a boy. Nope, this is a girl. A girl named Joan, who is a spellcaster. Yep. She's a spellcaster and she has these eyes. And Joan and her brother Herbert are the daughter and son of Serena and Tim. Lord, it's coming out, y'all, I promise. Matthew. Don't remember. He's a spellcaster. Don't know who his parents are. He is the son of Nicola and Wolfgang Munch. So he's half human and he's superhuman passing, even though he has magic. So that's really interesting. And last but not least is Keon, whose name I will change. Oh, he actually ages up into a child. I should have did that off screen so we could see what he looks like for real, but we'll save that for another episode, I suppose. But Keon, whose name will not be Keon next time we see him. Kurtz, were you adopted? Okay, well, he's actually their adopted son. Wolfgang and Nicola seem to have adopted a human boy named Keon, so they must have had a friend who wasn't able to take care of their child for one reason or another and took him in themselves. So that's really sweet of them. So maybe one day we'll see one of these kids, especially these little spellcaster kids here in the middle. There's 4 of them. Only 2 of them are human. It's crazy that I wonder how Jordan feels being one of the only like blood related people in the family, but having no magic at all. Like, it's one thing to be human passing like Matthew, but he has no magic at all. So I wonder if he feels kind of outcasted from them because he can't relate to any of the dangers and stuff that they face. Because even Matthew, I mean, he faces dangers and whatnot, but he could pass us as a non-magical human very easily. Let me see, his eye color, is it brown or something else? Yeah, he could pass as non-magical very easily. Joan, Herbert, and Nicholas would struggle. And the only other person without magic is Keon, but like, he's adopted, he's not blood related to them, so we'll see. Yeah, this guy's adopted. But we'll move on to the next family, the next household. But I do think it's interesting, and I wonder how Ada and Isoda would interact with these kids. So maybe we'll have them go out and make some spellcaster friends. I think that'd be nice. Next up, we have Albreda, who is still here in Oasis Springs with Harold. They're still technically dating, kind of, sort of. They're partners, and they still find each other attractive, but I don't think any of that initial love and like the rush is still there. Like that connection isn't there anymore. Harold went out and found that connection elsewhere with someone else, this is like his second marriage, I don't remember. But as we remember, he horrifyingly ended up marrying his technically daughter, but in this save file, no. Technically this is his daughter, but she was in a different household, so it didn't save as such. But he and her got married, so I guess he was finally willing to, I don't know, maybe after their children died. I think their daughter was the last one to pass away. Maybe that just kind of made him slowly realize that he wanted some sense of stability, because he spent so long just saying fuck it to his responsibilities, right? He didn't raise Amice. He has, technically in this save file, they're not listed as his children, but he had like other kids he wasn't taking care of. Remember, he completely left his wife for Albreda to start an affair and move to the lawless lands. And I don't think he regrets any of his actions or anything like that. Like, I legitimately don't. But I do think that, like, somewhere between their daughter and their son passing away, I really think it was their daughter. And I don't know, I think now he's matured after a million years, wanting to settle down finally and have children and be like typical domestic family. And Albreda still doesn't want to do that, still can't do that, still will not do that. The closest they got to that was the kids they had, and clearly that did not work out. So she was perfectly fine with him going off and finding a partner of his own. So when he came back with this wife, they all live together amicably. Like, she doesn't hate anyone in the household, but I don't think she'll be staying too much longer. Just because her and Harold's love has like really fizzled out. I think she will always love him. She'll always be attracted to him, but that initial rush and pure attraction has just dissipated. Maybe it's came with age as well. Remember, she was a pretty young teenager when she started that affair with Harold to begin with, and when they rushed off to Oasis Springs just randomly. So who knows? She could always go next door and live with her sister Amice, who is still single and childless. We won't be seeing her in this video because she doesn't have anything going on. She is living it up. So who knows? But I don't think she'll be staying here too much longer. I think she'll let Harold go, right? Harold and Amice just had twins as well. I'm not gonna dwell too deeply on that either. I can only have too many existential crises. And I plan on playing Baldur's Gate later, so I can't use all my rage on this video. I have to save it for later. But yeah, so I think it's fizzling out a little bit. I think there's no bad blood between them. I think that's what it is. It was fleeting. Unfortunately, it ended the way it ended, but I don't think neither one of them hate each other. I don't think either one of them, for better or for worse, regret what they did, what they left behind, or the way things ended. Like, I don't even think that they care too much that their children are not alive. Yeah, she's about to be an adult. Like, she's just had over a decade to just mature. So I think that that's really what's happening here and why this love is fizzling out. She's had a long time to mature, realize what she wants. She wants something different. Remember, her husband is even older than her, so he's in his adulthood. He's ready to settle down and be the man he should have been decades ago, but not with Albreda. Though it's not something Albreda necessarily wants either. She was not happy when they did have the kids. She doesn't even like children. Did she get this hates children trait afterwards? I don't remember her having that. She must have got that in her adult role, because I wasn't here for that. Well, whatever. But I don't know, so next time we see her, she might be next door with Amice. Because Amice lives here in this house with plenty of room, so, and they're both part of the Spellcaster Defenders. And also, yeah, it'd be safer, you know, Harold and her don't have those children connecting them anymore, no reason to stay together. And with monsters being hunted down so often, because they are so amicable, like, she doesn't have any ill will towards him or Amice or any of their kids or anything like that. The last thing I think she would want, especially in her matured age, is to drag them down if something were to happen to her, right? So their relationships are and their love is already fizzled out pretty much almost completely. I don't think she would feel too bad about leaving, so in case something did happen, they wouldn't, you know, face the stake or jail time or anything like her, just because she's here and just because they've spent so long being lovers and partners. They aren't even married, so there's no major loss. You know, she was younger than him. He should have known better, but everything she did and every mistake she's made, every decision she's made has been her decision, and I think she's really owning up to that. So yeah, that's it with this family at least. So I don't know. I really like how Albreda has matured. Once again, she's definitely one of those side characters who I slick wish was kind of more closely connected to the main household, or at least still in Hemford on Bagley, so we would see her more often. But her and Amice live in a lawless land, so we really only see her during these side household updates. But who knows, with everything going on with all the monster hunters and everything, maybe we'll see a bit more of her. Next up, we have Denise's household, looking beautiful as ever. She is still unmarried, still has not popped out any other children or anything like that, which she's grateful for. After she became a mistress and she had her children, she loves them. You know, she appreciated Parker and his wife for allowing her to live the way she could, but now she's just free to be a grandmother and enjoy life with her children. So who is in the house? We have Rodrigo here, and Rodrigo did officially marry Madison. I can't remember if they was married to the last side household update or if they were just partners, but they are officially married. They're best friends. They get along super well. I am once again choosing to ignore the fact that they are in fact first cousins. So moving on, Catherine is still single, but as we recall, she had she did adopt a baby of her own, who is this Idonia Myers. She adopted this little orphan. She is not a spellcaster, but the whole family treats her just the same and love her just as much. And let me make sure this baby that was just born is not hers. Okay, it's not. It's her sister's. I had to be sure. So Laura has aged up as well. Her name is Laura Smith, and to change it to Laura Woodson after her father. She was born out of wedlock between these two, but their last names have changed. So these two got married right before their third sister was born, little Mary. But need to change their last name to Woodson to match. But Laura is now a child. We probably won't be seeing much of her because this is still Willow Creek. Once again, the Monster Hunter Guild's leader has moved to Willow Creek. He's actually pretty close by to this household, so hopefully by the next time we see the side household update in Willow Creek, at least, they'll be okay. Because when I tell y'all, he is like walking distance to this household, and these guys are very clearly not completely human. I'm really hoping that they stay safe and everything like that, so we'll see how that goes. But Laura is here. She's a child. She's jaded, impulsive, and kind. They have a son named Shaquille, who I did not give a makeover to, so I don't know what his eyes look like. I was waiting until he was a child. I didn't feel like bothering with the toddler makeover this time, but he is a spellcaster. So none of them have an alien form like Madison. They completely got Rodrigo's spellcaster nature, but they did get some hybrid traits like their eyes and stuff, similar to the Sims in our main household. And they just had another baby together named Mary. So I wonder if it seems like Mary has taken over Rodrigo and Madison's skin color. If we recall, the reason Laura and Shaquille have I'm changing Shaquille's name, but the reason these two have darker skin is because their father, I think his name was Parker, one of y'all created him. He had dark skin, so this is like a recessive trait from their grandfather. Madison's tan as well. She's the tannest of her siblings because they're technically all mixed. But yeah, that's it for this household. It's really not much going on. Everybody's safe and happy, but I was just a little worried because, well, that monster hunter is too close for comfort. But I think they don't really leave the house too much, and a lot of them are still part of the Spellcaster Defenders, yes, so we've lost a few spellcaster defenders, we've lost a few spellcasters, but most of them are still standing strong. This guy, Dice Guy, took over as leader, but it was somebody else at the time. They passed away, so they're still standing strong, still remaining hidden, and still sharing information within their network. And of course, Amice's kids are all part of it as well, so if something happens, maybe Amice's kids might share with their cousins in Hemford and Bagley about like any safety concerns or anything like that. And fun fact, since we're here in the side household update, if y'all are following the main household, I can't see this right now, apparently, but if you're following the most recent episode, you know that we are currently looking for a wife for Lawrence. And one of the contenders that I really liked was a girl named Elwyn, who is half demon, which is explained a little bit further, or hypothesized further in my previous episode, but she is actually also part of the Spellcaster Defenders. So if Elwyn ends up as part of our main household by marrying Lawrence, we will have direct access to the Spellcaster Defenders, so I think that's fun. And this is the final sim we're going to be going over. This is a little bit deeper than I typically do, but I just think it's funny. So this is David. David is Denise's son and the only child who does not live in the household. If we recall, he has a spellcaster father, just like his other siblings, but kind of like Madison, he has no magic. He's just an alien. So if we remember, David is an alien. Catherine, the middle child with the blonde hair with the adoptive daughter from the previous episode, she is not an alien at all. She has an alien-esque, like a hybrid trait with her red eyes, her red pupilless eyes, but she's actually just a spellcaster. And then their little baby sister, Madison, who is married to their cousin, Rodrigo, with all the kids, she is simply an alien. And so David has been traveling around. If we remember the last one or two side household updates, he had like went on a world tour impregnating just about every MILF in my game file, and he actually circled back. I'm not sure exactly what happened with his household in Hemford and Bagley, but the woman he was with there, he had 2 kids with, and I'm not sure what happened, but she moved out probably for her own safety because the second child he had with her was not human passing at all. Actually was a hybrid in a similar way Amice, David, Celestria, and Sybil are, and Jalissa, where they're human, but they have an unnatural skin color. And I think she feared for her safety and the fact that she's technically part of the Monster Hunters Guild as an informant. She would have to answer a lot of questions, and I think that her experience with giving birth to alien children kind of made her realize this is still a child, or at least my child. So she actually ran off and remarried someone in Windenburg. So these two split off in different directions. He has not seen any of the kids he's had by her, which isn't unnatural because he hasn't seen any of the other kids. So he circled back actually to one of the first people who got pregnant, Bella Goth, who is not Bella Goth. This is Bella Canfield, because David put a ring on it. That's right. Our bachelor, our community dick has settled down. So we're going to ignore these 4 kids right here and focus on this part of the family tree. So together they've had 1 child. I don't think she's pregnant. She's most likely not, but let me check just in case it hasn't. Okay, she is in fact pregnant. So she's pregnant with a little boy. So Bella's a young adult? Since when? How are you a young adult? And your daughter's about whatever. It's probably the pregnancies. It's definitely the pregnancies. But yeah, so he's finally tied the knot. He moved back into this old Goth household, and things are going great. He lives also with his now daughter-in-law, Cassandra Goth, who is about the same age as him, actually. Actually, he's a little older than her. And he has a son named Stefan, whose last name I'm going to change from Goth to Canfield because he's not Mortimer's kid, but he was born before Bella changed her last name. He's an occult enthusiast, active and fickle, so he embraces that part of him that's alien. He's not an alien though, but he embraces it, and he loves his father. He loves the sibling that he's about to have. and he is not pro Monster Hunter or anything else like that at all, which I think is cute. So hopefully David can at least bond with one of the kids. Hopefully Stephen or Stefan, whatever his name is. Julianne is his grandchild because this is Cassandra's kid. And I remember was technically part of the running to marry Lawrence, but I don't think Lawrence is going to choose her. But her baby daddy was Eric Yost, which is someone from Henford on Bagley, which don't even matter. But he cheated on his wife and had her baby. But so yeah, to end this off, David has settled down. It seems to be that seems to be the trend for our wandering spirits, David and Albreda. As they got older, they settled down, either out of fear or just age and maturity. So I wonder what his new role is gonna be. Marrying such a rich woman with secrets of her own must be interesting. But yeah, so with that all said and done, I will see y'all in the next episode. David looks so mad. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye.